Hey everyone, hope everything's going well. It's been about almost 2 months since I've done a video. Now, I do Instagram content from time to time. I do post a lot of stories, or I try to post stories on IG when I have the moment. It's a lot quicker than doing content. But ultimately, I've been working about 60 to 70 hours a week, just based on just what I'm doing for my job right now. And in order to chill out, de-stress, I haven't been doing that much content, but I have been going to a lot of shows. I've been to Weird Al just last night at the United Center, and the week before I saw Dave Chappelle again at the United Center. Seen some stand-up comedians, Russell Peters. There's also Tim Dillon last year, Steve Byrne late last year. I've seen a few others as well. Kash Singh, Nimesh Patel, and a few others that I can't think of off the top of my head. But I've seen a bunch of individuals just once again to chill out because my work life has been very, 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 very hectic. Now, before I begin this video topic or this topic, I wanted to show you what I got at the Dave Chappelle show or concert, not concert, but when he came to Chicago. It was a surprise show. It was only announced 2 weeks before he came. Sold out United Center. Really liked it. There was the rap group Clips. There was also Hannibal Buress. Those are the notable individuals that were there. Now, they made us put the phones in a pouch, the Yonder pouch, where we were not allowed to record Dave Chappelle. If we were, we'd get kicked out. And the reason why he doesn't want us to record is because he doesn't want some of the things going on social media, and then it creates a firestorm for him. And it's things that you can't even say on Netflix. And he tried to press boundaries on Netflix. This stuff would not fly on Netflix, beyond a shadow of a doubt. So that's why he makes us put the phones in the pouch. So it was a hassle trying to get out of the United Center that night. But since we couldn't use our phones, the ushers had to determine, okay, where do we sit? They gave us a receipt. That's right. This was a receipt they gave me. I put that in my pocket. Now, I don't know if I could grade it with PSA. I just would want it as a collectible. And it's all crinkled up. I think Stub Love on Instagram said that, hey, look, you could still send it to PSA, but it's not going to be graded as a ticket. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like, this was the only way that the usher could see if you're sitting in a particular area, that this is where you sat. And also for you to remember, this is where you sat. Or this is where you sit, and here's how to get to your seat. Because usually you use your phone, but you can't use your phone unless you're in a certain area. So that's my collectible from the Dave Chappelle show from a couple weeks ago. Very good. Still at the top of his game, in my opinion. A bit vulgar, but I like more like Weird Al that I saw last night. It wasn't vulgar or anything like that. Great show. And it's also important to de-stress yourself. You know, a lot of things on social media makes you want to pull your hair out, and you need to take a break from all of that. You still follow it, but hey, taking a break. I took a break from social media as well. Once again, I'm working 55, 60 hours a week. Now I want to get to my topic. The topic is the craziest funny flipping story ever that I've ever had. And it's not that much money, but once again, I've mentioned that I like going to many sporting events, many concerts, different type of venues. And I've done this pre-COVID. I used to buy tickets. I used to resell them on sites like TickPick, StubHub. Some successful, some not. And I wanted to do an experiment because I used to buy Brewers versus the Cubs seats. I used to buy them cheap, and then I used to sell them a little bit more than what I used to buy them at. And I did the same thing in December of last year. I bought 6 tickets, Cubs versus Milwaukee Brewers. This was at Miller Park. Great stadium. If you're ever in the area, make sure to head to Miller Park. Wonderful venue. And that's 10 years ago. Still a great venue from what, people talk about. And I was thinking, I'm probably not going to the game. I just want to test something out because that's something I've always looked into is like flipping tickets on the side. Now, there's different licenses, so you have to be careful in what states you're involved with and all of that. But the states really don't crack down on it. The government doesn't crack down on it unless you're using bots. That's when they really get involved. So that's the thing about AI and bots. I don't know where that will go from a legislative perspective, but I was just doing this for fun. Bought 6 tickets, wanted to flip it. Then what happened was, come April of this year, the game was, I think, on Friday. Come April, I thought, okay, I should get my tickets by now. It's opening day. Usually the tickets, these brokers, they get their tickets or whatever. Didn't get it. That was weird. So I'm like, whatever, okay? And then it's early June, and I'm like, wait, why hasn't the guy delivered the tickets? I spent $385 for 6 bleachers tickets. And what was it, $58 a seat or something like that, whatever it was. And I was looking at the secondary market, and those were being priced at $100. I'm like, okay, this would be a great flip. So just to protect my own end, I sold like 2 of those tickets. I put 2 of them on for sale. I'm like, hey, look, if this guy delivers, the Thursday before the event, I could get, I could protect myself, so I don't have to sell all the tickets all at once. Because then it's risky, like the day of, trying to sell the tickets. You can still sell it, but you may not get the price you want. I sold 2 of the tickets, made, decent profit, but I was waiting for those tickets to get delivered to me. I called Vivid Seats. I was like, hey, look, why aren't you delivering my tickets? What's going on? They said, oh, the buyer's going to deliver it and blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. They said, call back later or look at it later tonight. Call them again. Nothing. Call them again. Just be like, yo, what's going on? They said, call us 8 a.m. on a Friday morning time. I called them Friday, and the dude said, yeah, don't worry about it. The guy's going to be uploading the tickets very shortly. Then I got an email saying, hey, call us back regarding your tickets. And then they told me, unfortunately, your tickets will be canceled. I'm thinking to myself, okay, great. I don't have to deal with, trying to resell these tickets at the last moment. But then I asked, okay, what's going on? Why did this happen? So ultimately, I mentioned earlier, I listed those tickets that I bought from this buyer in December. I sold 2 of them. And what ended up happening was the guy that was supposed to deliver the tickets to me ended up buying the tickets that I was selling on Vivid Seats. That's right. The tickets that he sold, I tried to sell on Vivid Seats, and then he tried to buy that so those tickets could then be delivered to me. I've never had that experience before. Ultimately, this guy was naked selling tickets that he did not own. And what happens with these brokers, for those that are involved in this industry, is that, sometimes they list tickets, and they're like, okay, I don't have the tickets, but I'm going to buy them on the secondary market once they need to be delivered to the customer. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And what ended up happening was that those $58 tickets in the secondary market, it was going for about $100 at that moment. Now, closer to the game time, some of the bleacher seats did go back to like that $58 mark. But it's just quite interesting that you could do all sorts of this hanky-panky, and guess what? You may end up buying the tickets that you sold to a dude to try to deliver to the same guy. Wild. Wild, wild, wild story for me. I'm sure it's happened to individuals out there involved in ticket reselling, but I used to sell a bunch of tickets. Not a bunch, but I used to do this quite a bit. Never had that issue. And always these guys or gals, whatever, they've delivered the tickets to me in a very, very, very timely fashion. Also, I had a coworker. He said that he's going to the Jay-Z show in New York, and he says he didn't get the tickets delivered yet. I'm thinking in my back of my head, that's a little suspicious. Wonder if he's naked selling tickets that he does not have. So that's an interesting flipping experience that I have went through. Hopefully, it doesn't happen to me again. You know, I also like making money on the side for these tickets, and I also, like going to the show. So I do have skin in the game. So, anyways, let me know your thoughts. Any crazy flipping stories out there? Anyways, I'll talk to you later, and I hope to do more content soon. All right, talk to you later. Bye.